Hello friends, I welcome you on the behalf of IQAC of BRAC in the e-workshop on a classroom after COVID-19. Before we start, let me first introduce our resource person, Professor Sanjay Bhatt. Professor and former head Department of Social Work, University of Delhi, Professor Bhatt is a very senior educator. Presently, he is President of National Association of Professional Social Workers in India, NAPSWI, and President South Asia International Council on Social Welfare. He has more than 35 years of teaching experience and a brilliant combination of educator, practitioner and researcher. Uh, Pleasure to having you here, sir, and I welcome you on the behalf of IQAC and the entire college. As far as the theme of this workshop is concerned, I would like to say we have been facing pandemic situation arising due to COVID-19, and we all are taking classes and performing teaching learning tasks through online medium during this countrywide lockdown. I think this is the right time to think about what would be the future of classrooms after lockdown and COVID-19, because as we all know, we have to maintain social distancing with solidarity. So keeping in view the same, we thought that we should have a special e-workshop upon that. So our resource person will primarily discuss upon this issue and topic. Now, without wasting any more time, I would request our resource person, Professor Sanjay Bhatt, to continue the session. Sir, session is yours now.
Dear friends, welcome to this lecture series, A Classroom After COVID-19. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar College and its IQAC unit, especially Dr. G.K. Arora, principal of the college, and Dr. Atul Pratap Singh, the coordinator of IQAC, for inviting me to discuss future. What after COVID-19? Both are my friends. And friends are always stood with you in the time of crisis. We all are facing the biggest crisis of our lifetime, or probably of a century. The novel coronavirus, COVID-19, which is not at all novel to the humanity. I'm not going into the detail what coronavirus is, but I will be discussing one part of the educational system which is most dear to any teacher is the classroom, and through classroom his or her students. Now, first of all, we should understand what changes are expected after COVID-19. What will be the scenario? Friends, let me tell you, the little biology which I have studied or I know, the virus is not going anywhere. It is going to stay with us. So coronaviruses are staying with us, and especially COVID-19 is going to stay with us. And one thing is that it will force us to live with it. More explicitly, we will be living in a new world, in new lifestyle, in a new social order, probably different what we are living today. Our social norms are going to change. Our style of life, style of behaving, style of interacting with each other, style of reacting to the situation is going to change. The biggest thing this COVID-19 is indicating is the uncertainty. We will be living in a period of uncertainty, and we will be living in a well-founded fear. Fear of its attack, fear of its consequences, anytime, anywhere, with anyone. This virus can do anything. Now, with this fear, we might not be shaking hand. We might be following the principle of what they call social distancing, which I disagree. How distancing can be social? In fact, the usage of this word is not apt, is not appropriate. It is not appropriately said. It should be physical distance. On behalf of my organization, NAPSV, an association of professional social workers in India, I wrote a letter to the health minister requesting him to use the word physical distancing, not social distance. Probably being the student of social sciences and understanding the consequences of the social distancing, I don't think this is an appropriate word. In fact, what we want as a preventive strategy, a physical distance between two people so that viruses doesn't transmit. It doesn't catch us to other person. So the more important word is physical distance. Now I will come to the classroom. Classroom is one of the beloved place, the place which we like most. And of course, the students in classroom to a teacher most valuable. Because the real purpose of a classroom is student learning. A student learns better. A student is in its mind. The classroom is to be inclusive. It should be supporting. The classroom is not four walls only. It is not desk and chair only. It is not fan and AC only. It is not blackboard or laptop or computer screen only. Classroom is a space which provides the mutual learning, which sets the behavioral codes, which creates the innovativeness, which brings the creativity. Which promotes the interaction between student and teacher. And it is the environment which has to be supported. You know, lecturing is one very popular method. I think popular since ages. Every teacher loves lecturing. We have in time we have changed its terminology. So we have a face-to-face interaction. We have an open question answer session. Now this classroom is going to change, and it is going to change, which will change many things. The classroom from a physical space going to a virtual space. Let's first talk of the physical space. Let's first talk the new mode of learning environment which we will be requiring. What happens if we continue to be in a physical space? With this norm of physical distancing, at least 3 feet, most of the new sitting arrangement in the new social order after COVID-19, whether it is a public bus, whether it is an aeroplane, it will be creating distance between two people sitting in one place. So our colleges and universities are already resource crunched. We have in past 10-15 years the increasing number of seats under different categories or under pretext of the different demands, like from reservation to OBC, then to EWS, then physically people living with the disability, then people are internally displaced persons. So what happened in last 15 years, the number of students in one classroom has gone beyond its space. When I started my teaching in Delhi University in 25 years ago, in a classroom we have a 50 student, and the space in the classroom was for the 60 to 70 students. Now we are admitting in 108 students with the same physical space. After COVID-19, these 108 students with physical distancing, we will require 4 classrooms. We don't have resources. So we have to innovate the options and views. We have to innovate the new learning environment. The first option is that we take the help of technology. So we will change our timetable in such a way that one classroom will be in 4 different rooms at a time. And teacher might be addressing to all these students in 4 classrooms with the help of technological support like laptop and computer, projecting on the screen. So it will be missing that direct eye-to-eye contact between the student and teacher, and the one of the purpose of encoding behavior, observation might be missing. But we have to do something. So if we go on physical space, we have to. But now second option is to go from the 4-wall classroom to the virtual classroom, beyond the boundaries of classroom. That's what the new guidelines of UGC is suggesting. Online teaching. So offline teaching to online teaching from the within 4 walls of the one room, going to beyond, that is sure. So the new learning environment is required. This new learning environment will require the skills in operation of the newer technology, which will indicate that certain teachers, those who are not well versed with handling this technology, they will be requiring teachers training program. Now with this new technology, there are 3 issues. the availability of technology, the accessibility of technology, and the affordability of technology. Now, since all of you belong to my class, my profession, you are my fellow being, I need not to explain you what these three A means. You know that how much technology is available. First, we don't have computers. Where we have computers, we don't have electric supply. Where we do not have electric supply, we have a power generator. Where we have a power generator, then buying the diesel for that power generator is being governed by the administrative and account department. You know where I'm hinting. So the e-resources or the e-teaching which we are going to do will make a difference. The language. Most of the e-resources are available only in English language. So this is the time to develop the indigenous literature or material in local languages where students are comfortable. I'm not talking to Indianize the system. I'm talking indigenous, which is more akin to our culture. And the newer wage. When you might be engaging the student, one of the purpose of classroom engagement is to engage the student, to keep them intact for that 40 minutes or 1 hour. While physically you are present, you do that. But can you do through this technology? You might have to change your lecturing style. You have to introduce the anecdotes, you have to introduce the stories, you have to bring out some kind of jokes which gives the sustainability to remain within that. So two things, subject expertise and technology. These two things have been clubbed together, and many of us of my age or even younger to me, they are not well versed. The other option is resizing the classroom, like Western universities. In a master course, 20 seats. But can we afford in our public education system? Do the government or political parties have that will to reduce the number of seats? You know the consequences. It will lead to strike and it will lead to so many things. So you need bigger size of classroom with more equipments, with more volume system, speakers, big screen from where you can deliver to 100 students sitting with the physical distance. Now probably this will also lead, this classroom demand will also lead the relooking at your syllabi. If really we want to do justice with the students, you have to change the syllabus. We have many experiments in past few years. The massive open online courses, MOOC, Swayamprabha, Consortium for Educational Communication, UGC, ePathshala, many lectures are available. But if you closely watch them, they have been structured not by heart, not by Indianize. They have been copied and borrowed from the typical Western mindset. You know, when I was a student in a school, there used to be the students of B.Ed courses from neighboring degree college, and they used to come in my class and they used to write lecture number, period, subject, title, number of hours, time, then question, you know, the style which is being taught to the B.Ed students in a school education system. these courses or many of these courses are meant like that. Many are very good. I am not saying that these e-resources are not good. Very good resources we have prepared. But I think we need the intent and content both to develop them. Probably this is the right time when we will be doing that. Now, another very important thing is classroom culture. Will be able to maintain that classroom culture, because classroom culture is a part of learning system, and one of the important parameter of this classroom culture is that students find their own engagement and they develop the responsibility. So through this 4 or 5 options which I discussed with you in a new classroom, will be able to maintain that engagement, and are we going to inculcate that sense of responsibility? And already we have different kind of discipline versus self-discipline process. We have a problem of discipline in the colleges and universities, that too in classroom. So that will be another very important issue which we cannot. Of course, we put everything on the teacher. Teacher has to be positive, teacher has to be outgoing, teacher has to be smart, teacher has to be inclusive, teacher has to be compassionate, teacher. We put so many responsibilities on teacher. What about the student? Are we ready to prepare our student, orient them as a recipient of the learning process? So what we will be requiring to do, that if we have to keep this rigor, first thing we have to learn integration of subject expertise with the newer technology, which will demand the innovative wage. Now you will say, what is innovative ways? Like suppose you have to guide a dissertation. Now how do you will guide the dissertation? Online. All the time online. You will check his questionnaire or interview schedule, send him back. You will check his proposal and send him back. You will never see a student, and a student will never come to you, and you will be talking on the telephone and everything. Probably this will require on part of teacher. The second very important responsibility is the time management. Not only term of timetable, in term of responding to the student. So internal assessment, MCQs, quiz, classroom assignment, e-resources, supplementation, taking their questions and responding back onto the system. I think these are some very important issues. And before we go to other, the college or university is not only the classroom. Classroom clubbed with the beyond classroom. Fieldwork in my subject, in some of the subject, the practical, how you are going to use that physical distance and the lab and like computer. So number of students we cannot reduce, size of the classroom we cannot increase. Then what? Only option is the innovation, where you can have the interaction with the student, where you can influence their mind. COVID-19 is not only going to impact you in this way. Uncertainty is one, the responsiveness is another one, the new social order is third one, new normative behavior is another one. I think given in these circumstances, it will not be easier for any of us to maintain this lead. How we are going to organize the classroom with so many limitations. Last, I would have been very happy to take your question and put answer. You can always send me the question on my email, sanjaybhatt@gmail.com, SANJAI. Yes, you have rightly understood. SANJAIBHATT@gmail.com. I will be very happy to interact and learn from you. That's why I said I'm not delivering lecture. This is an interaction between colleagues. And mutual learning should be our goal. You may disagree with some of my points. I have no objection for that. But at the same time, I think this thought of futurology, what will be the COVID-19 consequence, on a very one component of a classroom which I discussed with you, is my afterthought. I think there can be many more aspects of this topic. There can be many more contours of this problem. I didn't discuss with you the relationship between teacher and student, which arises from a classroom and which technology, I don't know at what extent it will support. After listening me in a classroom, a student come back to me and he said, "Sir, I wanted to discuss you with something very personal. Will you give me time? I want your personal advice." Some students comes and they says, "Can you give me your personal notes?" So that bonding between a student, and we are a country where we have a Guru Shishya Parampara. Unfortunately, we have become more westernized. We have translated everything in English, so we can begin teacher-student relationship. But in a given Guru Shishya Parampara, the transmit of knowledge, the wisdom, the practice, the skills. You don't learn only through the words. You learn through gestures, you learn through eyes, you learn through tone, you learn through fervor, you learn through body language. Probably that will not be very easier to contain in this online system. So friends, once again, I must thank you for a very patient listening, and I must appreciate the effort of IQAC of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar College for taking lead and giving me an opportunity to express my viewpoint. I have also spoken on different aspects What after COVID-19 and families? What after COVID-19 and relationships? What after COVID-19 and values? So friends, I hope that we will find time somewhere, someplace, on some other platform to counter the coronavirus and its consequences, which may appear anytime, anywhere, with anyone. So thank you very much, and thank you for listening. Do send me your questions, if any. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for conducting a very enriching session for us. Friends, now we are moving towards the end of this session. So, on the behalf of college and IQAC, I sincerely express my deep sense of gratitude to our resource person, Professor Sanjay Bhatt. Sir, we feel honored with your online gracious presence, and you accepted our request on a single telephone call and spare time for us and helped us to conduct this workshop. And I hope the participants and viewers will be greatly benefited by your knowledge and experience. So thank you so much for being with us. I'm thankful to our principal, Dr. G.K. Arora Sahab, who was the great source of inspiration, and he is always ready with unconditional support. So thank you, sir. Last but not the least, I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to each and every member of IQAC committee, and special thanks to Praveen Kumar, Ram Kumar ji, Ipshita and Aman for technical and instrumental support. Thank you all of you. Now we are closing this session. Stay safe and be well. Thank you.